Whenever you start a new journey, especially something like becoming a coach, you get a map, right? You've got the theory, the books, the plan, but the real learning, the stuff that actually changes you, that happens when you step off the map and into the real world, where things get messy and way, way more interesting.
And that's exactly what we're diving into today. This isn't about what you can read in a textbook. Nope. This is all about those aha moments, those uncomfortable, surprising realizations that completely flip your old beliefs on their head and change everything. So we're going to walk through 5 of these paradoxical lessons, and then we'll look at the final transformation that ties it all together. Each one is a huge milestone on that road from just knowing about coaching to truly being a coach. Let's jump in.
All right, so first up, this is probably the biggest, most common struggle for every new coach out there. It's that huge gap between what the books say you should do and what every instinct in your body is screaming at you to do instead.
And this is the internal battle. Right here. The theory tells us, hey, your job is to hold space, let the client find their own way. But our gut, especially if we're used to solving problems, just wants to jump in and yell, here's the answer, let me fix it for you. It's a constant tug of war.
So let's just name it, the fixer instinct. And here's the thing, the first real step to becoming a great coach isn't about mastering some fancy technique. It's about recognizing this instinct in yourself and learning, consciously, how to quiet it down. That's the moment you stop just knowing about coaching and you actually start doing it. Okay, on to our second lesson. And this one feels totally backward at first. How in the world can a rigid framework lead to more freedom and creativity in a conversation? It doesn't seem to make sense. So, the initial belief is pretty common. A script, a model, that's gonna feel so robotic it'll kill the vibe. But what actually happens without one? Well, sessions just kind of wander aimlessly, and suddenly there's all this pressure on both you and the client. The big realization is that structure isn't a cage, it's more like a container. It gives the conversation a safe place to exist so you can actually go deeper. The classic GROW model is a perfect example of this. Look how simple it is. Just by starting with a clear goal, you get rid of so much confusion. This frame doesn't lock you in, it frees you up. It lets you stop worrying about where are we going, so you can be fully present with your client. Okay, this next lesson is such a powerful idea. It's all about how something you see as a huge disadvantage, a hurdle you have to clear, can actually turn out to be your secret weapon. So get this, the author decided to study all the coaching materials in English, which wasn't their first language. Now, on the surface, that just sounds like making your life harder, right? But something totally unexpected happened. It forced them to slow down.
And that's the whole point. Because they had to process everything more carefully, they started listening with incredible precision. They had to ask more questions to make sure they understood, and that weakness ended up building the most important coaching muscle there is, deep, patient listening. It literally became a superpower.
Now we're getting to what might be the most profound lesson of all. This is that moment a coach finally gets that their value isn't about what they do, it's about how they show up. This comes from a story about a session where the coach felt like they'd done almost nothing. Seriously, they just listened, maybe repeated a few things back, and just held the space. They walked away feeling like a failure, like they hadn't performed. But for the client, that quiet, focused space was everything. It led to a massive breakthrough. Just let that sink in for a second. It's a wild thought, isn't it? It suggests that maybe the goal isn't to ask the perfect, brilliant question. Maybe the most powerful thing we can do is just create a space of such deep trust that the client can finally hear their own voice. Our fifth lesson tackles one of the heaviest things a new coach carries around. This feeling that you, and you alone, are responsible for the client's success. Oh man, you can just feel the pressure in that first column, can't you? I have to make this work. The author talks about feeling so frustrated with a client who wasn't committed and taking it on as a personal failure. That weight is just crushing. But the breakthrough is a simple, powerful shift in thinking.
And that's it, right there. You're not a magician who has to pull a rabbit out of a hat. You're a partner. It's a shared journey. And letting go of being the sole person responsible for the outcome, well, it doesn't mean you stop caring. It means you can finally show up as a true ally instead of a performer. And that is so freeing. All right, so let's tie all of these lessons together now. Because they aren't just 5 separate tips. They add up to a fundamental shift in who you are.
See, when you learn to quiet the fixer and you embrace structure, turn your weakness into a strength, value silence, and share the responsibility,
something much bigger happens. You just become more patient, more curious in all parts of your life. You stop needing to be right. You start trusting the process. You go from doing coaching to simply being a coach.
And this quote just says it all, doesn't it? That's the whole journey. It's moving away from trying to perform a role and just embodying an identity. It's not a finish line. It's a constant, beautiful process of becoming.
So, as we wrap this up, I'm going to leave you with that question. Does it matter if you're a coach, a manager, or just on your own path of growth? Take a look at the map you're holding. What's the one belief you have that if you were brave enough to challenge it, could unlock everything for you?